Right, let's just dive straight in by asking a truly massive question. Is it really possible to achieve incredible wealth in your youth without being a lottery winner, a pro athlete, or a famous actor? For a lot of us growing up, we look at young, ultra wealthy individuals and just assume they must have been born with incredible athletic ability, some unmatched artistic talent, or they simply hit the genetic or literal jackpot. But what if there was an entirely different set of rules governing wealth creation that anyone, literally anyone, could tap into? Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're basically going to completely dismantle traditional financial advice using the groundbreaking concepts from DeMarco's The Millionaire Fastlane. If you've ever felt like the standard advice of working your entire life just to maybe enjoy your twilight years feels a bit like a trap, well, you're in exactly the right place. We are going to look closely at the actual math and psychology of wealth building. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll cover the Great Deception. Then, the Lamborghini Epiphany, process over event, the wealth road trip, 3 financial roadmaps, and finally, escaping the sidewalk. Let's hit the accelerator. Starting off with Section 1, the Great Deception, or as it's often called, the get-rich-slow myth. So society tells us to work for 50 years, pinch pennies, and settle for a wealth in a wheelchair kind of retirement. The absurdity of that standard advice is brilliantly captured by the idea of an MTV Cribs episode where a 22-year-old multimillionaire standing in front of his oceanfront mansion and a driveway full of supercars seriously claims he bought it all by clipping coupons and maxing out his 401k at his local cell phone store job. I mean, it's laughable, right? We inherently know the young and wealthy didn't get there by saving pennies for 5 decades. Yet, for some reason, we just blindly accept this advice for our own lives. Notice the stark contrast between these two paths. The slow lane literally demands you wager your time, essentially trading your life for a chance at retirement. Its success relies entirely on avoiding massive market downturns and somehow keeping a job for half a century. The fast lane, on the other hand, is an entirely different mathematical construct. It compresses decades of wealth creation into just a few years through automated businesses and systems. It completely divorces wealth from time.
Moving right along to Section 2, the Lamborghini Epiphany, a 90-second awakening.
So, how exactly do you escape this slow path? Well, for our author, DeMarco, it all started with a massive mindset shift as a teenager. MJ was a pudgy kid, raised by a single mom, spending his days eating donuts and using a broken broomstick as a TV remote. But one day, walking to the local ice cream shop, he spotted his absolute dream car, a Lamborghini Countach. Expecting to see an old man with gray hair step out of it, he was completely shocked to see a guy in his 20s wearing jeans and an Iron Maiden shirt. Emboldened, MJ walked right up and boldly asked the young owner what he did for a living. The man simply replied, "I'm an inventor." Those few words absolutely shattered MJ's belief that wealth was only for the old or the famous. That literally 90-second realization that shameless wealth was possible sparked a really grueling journey. MJ went through years of depressing, dead-end jobs. We're talking pizza delivery boy, limo driver, just constant failures, all while his mom begged him to just get a real job. Eventually, he hit his breaking point, sitting in his limo during a dark, freezing Chicago blizzard. He took control, moved to Phoenix with just $900 to his name, and taught himself coding at the local library. He built a web directory for limos, relentlessly improved it based on customer feedback, and focused entirely on automating the whole shebang. He ended up selling it for $1.2 million, bought it back when the buyers nearly ruined it, and optimized it until it was generating hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit every single month. Which brings us to Section 3, process over event, the chef's secret. You see, spotting a guy in a Lamborghini or reading a flashy headline about a massive business sale is just witnessing an event, but that is not how wealth is forged. Much like a master chef baking the perfect dessert, wealth is an arduous process. It's this long, unseen journey of mixing the right ingredients at the exact right time in the right order. You can't just throw raw flour and sugar onto a plate and call it a cookie, right? Wealth requires the mixing, the baking, the precise temperature, and a whole lot of patience. Society absolutely loves to glorify the sudden, spectacular event of becoming rich. We see the $50 million sports contract or the $30 million tech buyout, but we completely ignore the brutal process behind it. We don't see the athlete's midnight practices, the torn ligaments, and the painful rehab. We don't see the tech founder's 60-hour coding beaks living on cardboard noodles in a tiny, unheated garage. Listen, all wealth events are born from process. Without the process, there's absolutely no event. All right, Section 4, the wealth road trip and its 4 critical ingredients. To actually pull this off yourself, you've got to realize wealth isn't about picking the next hot stock. It's a complete cross-country road trip. The formula requires 4 integrated steps. First, your roadmap. These are your guiding beliefs about money. Second, the vehicle, which is you, optimizing your mind and your body so you don't stall out. Third, the roads, your chosen financial pathways, whether that's an engineering career or an internet startup. And fourth, speed, which is execution. You could be sitting in a Ferrari on a wide-open road, but if you don't hit the accelerator by actually moving from idea to implementation, you are going nowhere.
Section 5. 3 financial roadmaps. Where are you headed?
The absolutely most critical ingredient on your journey is your roadmap. Why? Because the map you blindly follow dictates exactly where you are going to end up. In the world of money, there are basically 3 mathematical universes you can live in. Think of these as entirely different sets of physics. First is the sidewalk, which inherently leads to a destination of poorness. Second is the slow lane, which eventually leads to mediocrity and old age. And third is the fast lane, which is engineered to lead to true, rapid wealth. And that brings us to our final section today, Section 6, Escaping the Sidewalk, the Path of Least Resistance.
Let's dig into the absolute most dangerous of the 3 roadmaps. The core belief of a sidewalker is instant gratification. They're constantly trading their future for a pleasurable today. They live by a highly toxic wealth equation where their entire lifestyle is funded by their income plus maxed out credit cards and loans. They are literally always exactly one event, one layoff, one medical emergency, or one bad business deal away from total bankruptcy. And hey, this isn't just a theory. The data from the US Census Bureau is staggering. It shows that 57% of people under the age of 55 have absolutely zero or negative net worth. Think about that for a second. More than half the population is essentially operating at a deficit, driven entirely by the desperate need to maintain an illusion of wealth.
On top of that, 61% of all income earners make less than $35,000 a year. This proves that despite the flashy designer clothes, the huge flat-screen TVs, and the heavily financed luxury cars we see every single day, the vast majority of society is secretly trapped on the sidewalk. They might look wealthy, but they are what we call income-poor sidewalkers, completely beholden to their lifestyle servitude.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought to ponder and maybe even share with others. Are your current financial beliefs keeping you trapped in a cycle exactly one paycheck away for disaster? And more importantly, what changes are you going to make today to abandon that toxic roadmap and finally merge into the fast lane? The shortcut definitely exists, but the process is completely up to you.